It's right there. Just keep going and you'll finally accomplish something that most theists never do. Clarity, reality, a rational understanding of where you're going wrong. But will he do that? Absolutely not. This time, we're going to look at what I'm assuming is an Aussie preacher, just going off the accent. Now, I could be wrong, of course, and it really doesn't matter, but it just seems to me like I'm seeing more and more of these people as time goes on. But what they lack in intelligence, they more than make up for in close calls, which is exactly what happens here today. So close, pal. So close. But alas, no cigar. So let's go take a look. Now, if you paused and read through some of that, you'd just fall over laughing. They seem to think that they know the future, and that they've got everything all right. That's the epitome of Christians fooling themselves, which I think you'll agree with in just a few minutes. Now, I've talked in the past about theists who get so close to the truth that they just need to take one more step, and they'll finally break free of their religious delusions. Nowhere is that more true than this video. So let's go watch this guy walk right off a cliff.
So right now, today, how's your relationship with Jesus? Is it real? Is it vibrant? Are you powering on with God? Or is something not quite right? Do you perhaps have this sense that something's missing?
Yeah. There's no evidence that Jesus ever existed, or that there's any such thing as your imaginary friend. That's what's not quite right. You have some severe mental problems of which you are, unfortunately, not aware, and it's leading you to make crazy videos like this and demonstrate your insanity to the world. But you get so close to recognizing that you've got something wrong with you. Let's see your near collision with reality coming up right now.
Hi, I'm Bernie Diamond, and welcome again to Fresh. To me, the saddest disease, the worst disease of all that any of us can suffer from, is self-delusion.
And you have a terminal case. Because when you think about it, this reminds me of an old commercial from the 1980s.
Prepare for the most extraordinary event of your lifetime. An event that will forever alter the course of mankind and womankind. The next major turning point in the history of all civilization.
Hi! It's like reality just passed you by and you don't even recognize it. This seems to be a major problem for the religious. But like I say, reality doesn't matter to them. The fact that they are self-deluded, that's not important, so long as they get their daily feel-good dopamine hit. Reality, it can just go take a flying leap. It doesn't matter. Only their feelings do.
Why? Well, self-delusion is a powerful force that dwells in our hearts.
No. Nothing dwells in your heart except blood. Get your anatomy right. Self-delusion resides in our brains, and it is the emotionally derived desire for something to be true, something that makes us feel good, even if it isn't actually true or rationally defensible in reality. Because that describes religion perfectly. All of these comforting childish impulses, from wanting to be taken care of to wanting to be told what to do and have all of the rules laid out in front of you so you just don't have to think about it, that's all from the self-delusion of religion. It's what happens when your body ages but your mind never matures. It's for people who are terrified to actually be personally responsible for their own lives and their own decisions. For some reason, some bizarre reason that I can't really comprehend, some people actually prefer it that way.
It's a powerful weapon that Satan uses to prevent us from receiving all that Jesus has for us and becoming all that God made us to be.
And off into religious la-la land he goes. Honestly, isn't this guy too old to still have imaginary friends and believe in fairy tales? I'd point it out to him, but, of course, his comments are turned off. Why are the religious so terrified of engaging in healthy and rational debate with their detractors? Because they're terrified of reality. That's why. It's just more proof that they are immature, irrational children. Honestly, is anyone surprised by this?
Talk is cheap, and by and large, people don't look to what we say in order to size us up. They look to what we do.
I look at both. The religious are not impressive because both their words and their actions are, let's be honest, insane. I say the same thing about lunatics who believe in Bigfoot and alien abductions and ghosts and all that crap. These people are not rational. They do not operate in a rational fashion. They do not speak in rational terms, nor behave in rational ways. They allow their emotional state to dictate what they accept about reality instead of dealing with reality on reality's own objective terms. Because your feelings just don't matter. They just don't. If something is actually so, all of the emotional tantrums in the world won't change it. Adults, which is what you should be, they learn to deal with it. Emotionally overactive children, they don't.
That old adage, actions speak louder than words, is true.
Yes and no, but since both the actions and the words of Christians suck, it really doesn't matter. This is something that I've pointed out many times before. If you look at churches and their quote-unquote charity efforts, those efforts, they tend to be lost leaders. What they're really doing is trying to get converts. They're marketing their religion. Well, you can have a sandwich if you're willing to pray with someone. Yeah, you can have a bed for the night if you're going to profess Christianity. They aren't doing it because these people need help. They're doing it so they can feel good about spreading the delusion. Secular charities don't work that way. We don't say, well, reject religion if you want to eat. They just give them food and shelter and whatever the person needs without any strings attached. Why are the religious such dicks?
It's no different for Jesus. Matthew chapter 7 verses 21 to 23. Not everyone who calls me Lord, Lord will enter God's kingdom. The only people who will enter are those who do what my Father in heaven wants.
In other words, kiss his ass or suffer the consequences. It's obvious where these crappy churches got the idea. Their own asinine holy book pushes the idea of quid pro quo. This is not about helping those in need. It's about holding aid hostage until they do something for you first. And you know what that says about you? Nothing good.
On that last day, many will call me Lord. They will say, Lord, Lord, by the power of your name we spoke for God, and by your name we forced out demons and we did miracles. Then I will tell those people clearly, get away from me, you people who do wrong. I never knew you.
Yep, you didn't kiss my ass the way I wanted it kissed, therefore, all bets are off. Come on, does this guy understand just how terrible this makes his God and his religion look? Well, of course not, because he doesn't care. So long as he gets his jollies, nothing else matters. These people have deluded themselves to such a degree that anything goes so long as they get their emotional rocks off. Religion is a mind poison. Never let anyone tell you different.
Now that may seem a little harsh, but come on. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. What Jesus is really saying to you and me here and now is that our actions speak louder than words.
No, he's just saying, well, I was a douchebag. You can be too. The idea that any of this was ever acceptable, that you can make promises to people and then renege on those promises, or that you can just show up saying you're there to help and then make demands on others, that's a complete dick move. But that's what religion does, isn't it? It's all about control, and people who are so buried in it that they're all suffering from religious Stockholm Syndrome. They've gotten so screwed over by their religions and their churches that they think that's normal. They think that's how it's supposed to be. And they're wrong. But they don't care, do they? They couldn't care less.
So can I ask you, when it comes to Jesus, are you serious or are you kidding yourself?
No, that would be you. I'd be serious if there was any reason to think that any of the crap you people spew about Jesus or God or anything else had any rational basis in objective reality. You're the one kidding yourself because you simply don't care about reality unless reality makes you feel good. You only care about your own emotional comfort, and the facts, well, fuck the facts. That's a really terrible place to be. I feel pity for you. But you've done it to yourself.
Because one day that's the question he'll be asking of us. Better that we get it sorted now while there's still time. That's God's word.
Well, that's your claim anyhow. Now, how about you do something, anything at all, I'm not being picky here, to back any of it up. Oh, we all know that you won't, because you can't, because you just don't care. And that's the sad part. You don't care, and you're so far gone that you'll fight for a system that abuses you rather than cast off the shackles that have bound you to irrationality for so long. You like being a mental slave. You like being told what to do. You like having no choices and having no freedom. I don't know why, but that's the way that Christians and other theists seem to operate. Just listen to them. Go take a look. They are voluntary slaves begging to be beat because their masters tell them that they deserve it. The level of self-imposed mental abuse that we see among the religious, it's just mind-blowing. I don't get it.
Fresh for you today.
Yeah, dude, stop trying to appeal to the young kids. You can't even appeal to old farts like me. You're just making an even bigger fool of yourself than you were before. And that's saying something.
Now let's get something clear. God didn't bring us together today to make you feel condemned. He wants your relationship with Him to be rich and vibrant and powerful.
Which is why He's going to send you to burn for all eternity if you don't kiss His ass just the right way, right? Because that's the basis of Christianity. It's all carrot and stick. You do what you're told and you don't ask questions, and maybe, just maybe, you might get the carrot, or you get the crap beaten out of you with the stick. It's how this works inherently with the way the power dynamics are set up. God has all the power, you have all the responsibility, and you stand to lose everything if you don't do it just right. That's not a healthy relationship. It's an abusive one. But the religious, they don't get it or they don't care. Like I said, Stockholm Syndrome.
And to help you with that, you can receive this devotional into your inbox each day. Just stop by at christianityworks.com and you'll see that fresh devotional sign up right there at the top of the homepage. It's completely free.
Oh, right, because, yeah, I want to keep hearing your delusional nonsense every day. Yeah, sorry, I think I'll pass. And that's really why churches and apologetic sites do this. They want to keep reinforcing that mind poison that you've got coursing through your brain. That's their goal, forming habits through mindless repetition. Isn't that how brainwashing works?
And when you do subscribe, you'll immediately receive a copy of my ebook, How Can I Hear God Speak to Me?
Oh, good. More crap in my inbox. Sorry, I get enough of that from that Nigerian prince. I don't need it from you.
That web address again is christianityworks.com.
Except that doesn't work except for the mental midgets with emotional problems like our Aussie friend here. And I'm noticing there's a lot of these crazy theists from Australia these days. What's up with that? Seriously, Australia, you're better than that. Knock it off. But none of this nonsense actually works. But that doesn't stop these people from trying to shill their newsletters or their books or whatever. Now, I'm sure that newsletter is full of invitations to give money to this guy, because ultimately that's what this is all about. Donate, tithe, hand over the moolah because daddy needs a new car. I guess God doesn't provide very well, does he? What a surprise. Maybe, just maybe, God doesn't exist at all. I mean, it isn't like we can ask this guy because, closed comments and all. He doesn't want anyone to be able to point out how ridiculous everything he says is. And that's the thing. It is ridiculous. It is a scam. And everybody who buys into it is delusional. Even the ones who are so close to understanding the truth. Then they take a hard left into absurd fantasy land again. It really is just sad, isn't it?
Hi!
Bum